Joining me now, Christy Greenberg, former SDNY Criminal Division Deputy Chief, former federal prosecutor, and an MSNBC legal analyst. I find this fascinating, and here's why. We know that they have a limited number of strikes that they can use, right? So you're very early in this process that by some accounts may take not just the rest of this week, but potentially next week. So you have a juror in New York City where, frankly, 90% of people almost are Democrats or consider themselves to be leaning in that direction, right? And 2020 election comes. Many of them were very upset when Hillary Clinton lost in 2016. 2020 comes, and as Yasmin said, a sign of people celebrating that it seemed that Joe Biden had won was the honking of horns. This guy apparently, now the judge is asking to confirm this was indeed his account, but this guy apparently suggested that there were a lot of people out honking their horns, and he might need to join them. If you were on the defense team, is that something that would cause you to say that is not a juror that I think can be fair and impartial, in spite of the fact that he says he or she could be fair and impartial?
So, look, I understand why they're making the argument, but there are two different kinds of challenges. One, they can just challenge someone really for any reason other than, legal prohibitions, like if based on race or gender. But, for a cause challenge, that challenge has to be you can show that this person cannot be fair and impartial. And just because somebody celebrated that Joe Biden won the election in 2020 doesn't mean that person can't put aside their political views and judge based on the evidence and the law. So
let me tell you what's happening right now, because we're literally watching this document as this unfolds. Again, this is from our folks who are inside. Big moment. Judge Merchan is asking for that juror, who is described as a middle-aged woman from the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Please have her come in. Both parties will question her about these posts. Before she comes in, I don't want a cross-examination. Just ask her what this is and allow her to explain it. This is not an opportunity for another voir dire. Let her have her say. What do you make of that?
Well, I think Judge Merchan is being very careful here to create a record that's very clear on appeal, that the defense has raised some questions, and we're going to allow further questions of this juror. I also wonder, there was a juror who was a middle-aged woman who said her media diet was a steady diet of MSNBC and that she had Occupy Democrats information on her social media. I'm wondering if this is the same person. But yeah, that would be somebody
does not appear to be the same person.
Not the same person?
Yeah.
Okay. But, people who seem like they may be, affiliated with maybe more extreme groups, those are the kinds of people that that Donald Trump's team is going to look to strike. But somebody, again, who may have just been posting videos of other people celebrating and saying, hey, I may want to go out and join what's going on outside, I'm not sure that alone is enough for a cause challenge.
There's also a little subtext, I think, maybe even a dramatic subtext to a question that Judge Merchan asked of the defense team, which is, are we sure that this is her account? We should remember that it was his daughter who was attacked by Donald Trump for a posting that turned out was not hers. That was not her account. And so maybe he would have asked that anyway, but it's hard not to read that subtext into it.
100%, right? The fact that they've gotten it wrong before. Yes, you're going to have these jury consultants and paralegals scouring social media and doing Google searches of all of these jurors. They have the names. Obviously, we in the public don't. But you want to make sure that they're getting right, trust but verify. So that makes good sense that the judge is asking those questions.
Hey, everyone. MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.